Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio Thursday morning tonight. No Thursday night football. Well, in the professional league, that is. But in the college semifinals, we've got a pretty good game, don't we?
I think it's a great game, as a matter of fact. It's the Orange Bowl in Miami. They play at Hard Rock Stadium where the Miami Dolphins play. And this is Penn State versus Notre Dame. I don't think in the scheme of things, most of the football prognosticators would have thought that Penn State and Notre Dame would be in the semifinals, but they are. Notre Dame, the Irish, favored by 1.5. That's a great game, and I expect it will be. Notre Dame's coming off a big win over Georgia. Penn State beat Boise State. Prior to that, Penn State beat Southern Methodist, and Notre Dame knocked off Indiana. Those two fighting for the chance to go to the national championship game, which will be Monday, January 20th. Now, there is a game tomorrow night, and it's still on. Expecting heavy snow in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. At least that's what they told us anyway. That's Ohio State versus Texas. The game itself won't be compromised because they're indoors. AT&T Stadium in Dallas. But in terms of people getting there, and there are loads of Buckeye fans. They travel very well. So do the Texas Longhorn fans, and they're just down the road in Austin, Texas. Ohio State, a 5.5-point favorite. That is tomorrow night. The winners on to the national championship.
You putting any chocolate chips on this one?
Don't have any chocolate chips.
You don't have any left. I've been pretty vocal about my thoughts about old Deion Sanders and his coaching ability, but now there's some rumors that he might be following his kid. What do you think?
This is hardly new, and Deion doesn't come right out and say, no, I'm not going to. He says little coined phrases like my heart's in Colorado, and I love Denver, and I love Boulder, and so forth and so on. But he said he would consider coaching an NFL job if he could coach his sons, Shedeur and Shiloh. Shedur's a quarterback and Shiloh's a defensive back, and they're good players. Shedeur especially. He is expected to be an NFL first-round draft choice. Not so much for Shiloh. But interesting enough, where might it be? If he is a first-round, he being Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback, and he's a good player. If he were to be the number one draft choice, who would get number one? The lowliest team, Carolina Panthers, somebody along that line. Would Deion? It's a matter of if and maybe not. We'll see what happens.
We will. And again, it's funny to me because when you're a kid, sometimes your dad, you'll be your little league coach, right? You'll coach your church basketball team. You might coach your Mighty Mites football team. Deion's almost going to do it all the way through professional for his kid, which I'll leave it at that. That's all I'm going to say. All right, we're talking about football. Let's talk about some basketball. What's happening tonight?
There is one of our local colleges playing tonight. That's the Drury teams, the men and the women, and they go north to Jefferson City, playing Lincoln University. Now, I don't know too much about the Lincoln women's team. I suspect that Drury will have an easy time with that one. Drury is very good. The men's team played the Bears. They played the Bears down here in November, December. I think it was probably early December, and gave the Bears fits. Now, this is Lincoln. They're a Division II team. Game, of course, they're Drury's Division II as well. But in the men's game, I'm anxious to see what happens here. Drury and Lincoln, the men will play about 7:45, and the ladies about 5:30. All up in Jefferson City tonight.
The Kansas City Chiefs are again resting their bones this weekend for a pretty hectic wild card weekend that kicks off on Saturday, right?
It does indeed, with 2 games on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and then a game somewhere on Monday. I'll explain that in a second. On Saturday, the Los Angeles Chargers go to Houston to play the Texans. I suspect that, considering the circumstances in Los Angeles, that the Chargers have already left. The Pittsburgh Steelers of the Baltimore Ravens, that'll be the Saturday night game. 3 games Sunday, the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills, followed by the Green Bay Packers, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Washington Commanders at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of course, folks, the losers go home. The season is over. The one game next Monday is the Vikings going out to SoFi Stadium to play the Los Angeles Rams, except it might not be in SoFi Stadium. They're having a terrible disaster in Los Angeles with these wildfires. Air quality is just abysmal. So the NFL has said if by Monday night, we can't play the game for whatever reasons. We're going to Glendale, Arizona, which happens to be State Farm Center. That's where the Arizona Cardinals play. Huge place. So it may not be in L.A., but it will be the Vikings and the Rams.
It's a scary situation what's going on the West Coast, man.
God.
I mean, I've got friends over there. I'm begging and pleading for them to get out, go to Vegas for the week or something. I mean, because the way it looks, it's just jumping hill to hill to hill. You have Palisades gone now. You got the Hollywood Hills that's about to get hit. It's not a good scene, and the wind's supposed to be even worse today. So all the prayers and thoughts going out to especially those first responders that are literally fighting an uphill battle right now. Let's talk about the Pro Golf Tour. They were in Hawaii. Now where are they at this week?
They are still in Hawaii. This will be the second of the 2 weeks that the PGA Tour is in the Hawaiian Islands, only this time instead of Maui, they're going over to Oahu and play in Honolulu on the Waialae course in Honolulu, which is not real tough for them. Certainly the Kapalua course was not, with the winner getting 35 under par. 35 under? Oh, my goodness. Anyway, they'll play starting tonight, actually late this afternoon here in the United States. And then, of course, it's on to the USA for the trip through the West Coast, California, and then Arizona. And then by then it'll warm up and we'll be all set for golf back east.
Yeah, well, we haven't talked about pro hockey in a while. And if you look at a quick look at the standings, the Golden Knights still looking like they might go back and win another Stanley Cup.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, they still are. But our St. Louis Blues not having a good season.
Well, the Winnipeg Jets are the team in the West that has the top record. The Blues are 19 wins, 19 losses, and 4 deadlocks on the season. That puts them in 5th place in the Western Division of the NHL. Winnipeg, as I mentioned, is the conference leader. Right now, that 5th place standing, that's as of now, would not get the Blues in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Not now. But there's a long way to go, and you might remember that magic year 2019 when the Blues came from last place to first.
Exactly what I was
and
going
got
to say.
through the playoffs.
It is possible. They've done it before. And that's, hockey especially is a game of attrition, just like football. So anything can change, especially midway through the season. Ned, you have a good day, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.